if there's one thing you should understand about life, it's that it's everyone's first time living. You have to understand that you spawn into life, you're birthed with consciousness and you spawn in and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And so on a planet where everyone believes that, they're walking the straight and narrow path, where everyone believes that they know what's right and they know what's best and you should follow them, walk your own path and carve your own destiny. You have to understand that you only live once and you have a finite, limited amount of time on earth. And to listen to someone else because, they believe that that's what's best for them, they have a belief system in their brain and they believe that that is the best option for them, to take on their belief and to continue that cycle of their belief system is to be just absolutely retarded and ridiculous. You have to understand that if you're not going to walk your own path, someone's going to point a path to you and you're going to walk that unconsciously. Most people go through their life unconscious and they never actually become in tune with themselves. They never come to the realization that life is finite and to only live once and to compromise your experience on earth because you want to fit into someone else's perception to create this connection to them or to that false reality. You have to understand that most people are operating from a false reality, a fictional self created by society. Most people are navigating life conforming to people's perception of them to fit the narrative of whatever the fuck type of story they're trying to create. This basic low-level fucking reality, this, you never actually expound beyond that limitation. You never actually conquest into the world to conquer and dominate yourself, to get to the next fucking level and to become a fucking savage with every fucking step, to dominate yourself and to relentlessly persevere and pursue the best version of you, to wake up every day with the fucking malice intention to just dominate and to fucking conquer and to actually attain power, to power up, to increase your power level in life. Most people with the lowest fucking power level believe that if you follow their path, that's the best path. But to listen to someone, in a position where you don't want to be in, to be a subordinate, to listen to a subordinate on where you want to go in life is just not the path to walk. You need to find out what you want to do and you need to walk that path. Now, you have to build yourself up. So if you're poor, well, yes, get a job, but don't stagnate your entire fucking life in comfort, especially since you only live once. And don't conform to other people's perception. Be you and be authentic. All of these people are lost because they're so inauthentic. They need to be perceived and validated by someone else. They thrive off of validation. They need to be validated to feel something internally. You have to validate yourself through your fucking conduct. So this is why you never miss a fucking workout. This is why you never miss an early ass fucking wake up, 3 a.m. never missed it. Everyday workout, never missed it. Every day, 3 times a day workout, never missed it. You have to understand that the only validation is your fucking your conduct, and you validate yourself internally through that. Most people need external validation. They need someone to perceive that they exist, to feel like they exist. But the moment you wake up and you just pursue the best version of you, you no longer need that false validation. You no longer need that false, conviction of someone being able to know that you exist, to be aware that you exist. You have to understand you're either so insignificant to the point where you need other people to say that you're significant, even though you're not, because most validation is lies anyway. Most people validate you by your inadequacy to feel better for themselves, because everyone's a low-level piece of shit. I mean, when you spawn in and you don't know shit, and then you're around a whole bunch of people that don't know shit, and then you go your entire life never having a superior friend, well, you're going to be inferior your entire fucking life. You have to be the best version of you, and that's the only, you have to be. You have to be and you have to become, and you do that by challenging yourself. No one's fucking challenging themselves. No one's overcoming themselves in life. And, when you start to overcome yourself, when you start to develop, when you start to actually compound your overcoming and your ability to, to actually be a competent individual and to overcome things in life, to overcome your perplexities, to not just stagnate in your comfort, to not just stagnate and smile at your inadequacy. You know how much people rather smile at the fact that they're a fat piece of shit than actually go to the gym and work off the fucking fat? You know how much people will laugh and smile at the fact that they live in denial and that they live this half-assed reality of what they could have been? You know how much people will laugh at the fact that they're only 1% of what the fuck they could have been when they have this fucking entirely different reality just waiting for them behind the work they need to put in, behind the fear they need to face, and behind the individual they need to confront. You have to understand that so many people will laugh at their own inadequacy before they do some shit to fix some shit. And then they get validated by their inadequacy, and then they perpetuate this loop of being a low-level piece of shit, never actually attaining power in life. You have to follow the power set. You have to understand that when you get to certain levels of power, personal empowerment, you will sense power. You will intuitively sense power in your fucking heart and bones. Your bones will rattle. You will feel this overwhelming sensation of, I just did that, I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to do more, and I'm going to do it at a fucking higher level, because that's who the fuck I am. You have to understand that power is an actual emotion, and the more you feel power, the more you rise in power. You have to understand that power, life is all about power. If life wasn't about power, well, guess what? Then America and the entire fucking the world is thriving off of power. Who has the biggest military? That country has the most power, because guess what? If they wanted to take over, they could fucking take over. It's all about power, 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 power. You need to embody power consciousness instead of remaining a low-level, inadequate, incompetent, fucking powerless bitch. Empower yourself through your fucking conduct. Every rep is self-empowerment. Most of these people go through their entire life remaining powerless fucking cowards, never actually looking in the mirror and saying, fuck, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be this lazy, out of shape, spiraling downward piece of shit, picking up a bottle to escape my reality, needing a cigarette, a fucking dick to shove in my mouth because I'm uncomfortable and I can't handle stressful thoughts and I can't overcome the perplexities in my existence, and I need to create a neurological pathway to go and induce this fake artificial feeling to increase my dopamine levels because I'm just that much of a bitch, because I can't confront the low-level piece of shit in the mirror. Most of you guys rather passively kill yourself than just confront the piece of shit in the mirror. And so this is why most of you guys die pieces of shit. There's more potential in the fucking funeral than, there is in the fucking hospital. Those people most people, the newborn babies in the hospital are... you have to understand that it's 1% for a reason. And the only thing that is going to get you there is the confrontation. You need to confront the individual in the mirror, and then every day you need to relentlessly pursue your personal development, and every fucking day you need to wake up with the intent to be the best version of you. And you have to understand that you will become a fucking furnace just devouring anything in front of you. You will burn people alive with the truth. You will shine so fucking bright that the moment someone gets in your fucking sun, their skin starts to boil, their heart and soul begins to quiver because of how fucking contaminated with mediocrity that they are. They can't even conceptualize or fathom the idea that there's something beyond what the fuck they are, because what the fuck they are is a limit. You are your only limitation. And most people live in this box of a metaphysical fucking prison, and then they confine themselves to that, and they will back up their own prison. When you say, hey, why don't you do this and this to better yourself, they will give an excuse on why they can't better themselves to stay in that limitation. People create their prisons, and they choose to feed the fucking prison to make the prison grow. As people rather smile at a fucking TV, watch football, instead of just look in the mirror and pursue power all day, every day, all the time. I mean, guys, you only live once. Time is fucking limited. And if you believe you can't achieve what the fuck you had in your imagination, if you believe this is all just a big fluke, but first of all, if you believe this is a big fluke, you believe that you are a fluke, and you believe your existence is an entire fucking mistake. Because ain't no way you came and spawned into the universe and then you believe that, from nothing to something, and the universe exploded, and all it did was expand. And then you come into the universe and you contract all day fucking long, and you're like, oh fuck, this is a big fucking fluke. No, you are the mistake. You are making too much mistakes. You have to understand that if the law of the universe is to continually expand as it does, as it superiorly demonstrates, then why the fuck do you believe that you could contract and then believe it's a big fluke? You are the big fluke. You have to understand that if you believe it's a fluke, you are the big fluke. The only truth is expansion, to expand in every fucking domain and to increase your power level of life, to grow physically, spiritually, financially, and mentally, to level up in every fucking area, every fucking day, to attain the next level, to sharpen your blade, and to point at the direction you want to go. People don't even have fucking swords. They can't point in the direction they want to go because they're so confined to where they are. They're so limited to themselves that they can't even point where they want to go. They're stuck in that same position, and so they become this nihilistic piece of shit. All you have to do was look in the mirror and confront that bitch to make a change, but you couldn't do that, so now you're going to be stuck in this mediocre existence, and you're going to do all these side quests that don't add up to shit, that mean nothing, that feel empty. You are feeding a person that just will stay hungry no matter what. You are pouring water in a cup with the hole at the bottom, and so that's what the fuck you are. And if you want to change that, you're gonna have to change yourself, because you're simply gonna have to, you're gonna have to look at your cup. You're gonna realize there's a hole in the bottom, and then you're gonna get a new one. Most people can't even realize the fact that they have a hole in the fucking bottom because it's too difficult to realize how much they've poured, quote unquote, into themselves just to see it leak out of the bottom. And so, do you want to be the best version of you, or are you going to continue this mediocre existence that, doesn't fucking matter? You don't even matter to yourself. You sit there, pick up a bottle, you pick up a drink, you pick up a vape, you pick up the weed, you do everything to escape yourself. But guess what, bitch? You can't escape your fucking self. This shit is done on purpose for you to do something about it or stay trapped with what the fuck that bitch in the mirror. You are a bitch. If you can't look in the mirror and confront yourself, you are a bitch. And if you have a man, you are castrated, you are neutered, you are a pussy bitch. If you can't look in the mirror and confront that pussy, guys, you're gonna struggle your entire life with being an insecure loser. So don't be insecure. Make a move to secure yourself. Personal development in the community, go to the community center and join and look at the resources for you to actually improve. There's so many fucking topics, so many fucking information for you to actually construct a better person, to have direct instructions. You have to understand that most people don't know what they need to know to instruct themselves in a certain way, to direct themselves to certain outcomes that, they need in life. Most people go their entire life never having that person to tell them, you are a bitch and it's time to make a change. You are fat, you are addicted, and you need to do some shit to fix some shit, or you will die, that mediocre piece of shit. You have to understand that I'm doing you a favor when I tell you this, and most people will use the word of truth to construct a weapon against themselves, to spiral downward and compound that downward spiral downward faster. But be the individual to hear the word and say, fuck, this dude is right. I am addicted, I am fat, and there's something I can do about it. And that's where I'm going to gain my power. That's where I'm going to increase my power level, by overcoming what is keeping me weak. All you have to do is overcome what what is coming on you. And so you do that by picking up a notebook and writing down your fucking habits, and then figuring out what's fucking you in the ass and what is not. And then you just take away everything that's fucking you in the ass, and then you compound and you amplify and you increase what is not fucking you in the ass. So you remove all negative habits and you increase all positive habits, and then watch as your life transform. Watch as you transform. Watch as you actually start to feel like self-love. When you take action to better yourself, that's self-love through action. Most of you guys don't love yourself to take action like that. Most of you guys don't love yourself enough to quit. Everyone loves themselves until they actually have to do something to prove it. And now everyone's pessimistic, and now accountability walks into the door, and self-love fucking evaporates and dissipates into the atmosphere like you didn't just say you loved yourself. So everyone says I love you, everyone says I love myself, but when accountability walks into the door, Now it's a different fucking story. Now everyone's pessimistic and nihilistic, and now everyone is just resenting the individual who brought the accountability into the door, because all they did was speak the truth, and the truth is harsh because no one wants to speak about it, but the truth is authentic, and the thing that's going to bring you closer to what you need in life is authenticity. The best version of you is the most authentic version of you. The realest version of you is the best version of you. The version of you that says, I am a fat piece of shit, but I could do something about it today. I may not be the best, I may not know what to do, but if I start today and a year from now, I'll definitely have progress. I'll definitely look different. And this is why you join the community, because there we have the resources. I have over 315 posts just dedicated to everything from fitness to mindset to subconscious reprogramming to, you have to, if you identify with being a smoker and you try to quit, you're going to go back to that vape. You have to change what the fuck you identify with. So you no longer say I'm a smoker. You say I'm clean, I'm healthy. I am healthy. And then you do action to prove you're healthy. It's that fucking simple. The moment you change your identity, the moment you change what the fuck you put your time and energy into. If you say I'm an alcoholic, drunk, video game loser, well, that's where the fuck your time and energy is going to go into, because you're going to reestablish that belief system, because that's how your brain is programmed. That's how your brain is wired. If you have an identification, you are going to back that identity up with action. So you need to identify with something that is going to be better for you, and then watch as you transform yourself. It begins with, actually affirming to yourself who the fuck you are and what the fuck you want to be, and then taking action to back that up. It's that fucking simple. And then not quitting on yourself when you don't instantly get gratified like the fucking vape in the bottle do. To not instantly be gratified, but to continue, and that's what you call success, to succeed through the suck, to push forward when you feel like giving up. It's that fucking simple. Peace!